Good afternoon, everybody. It is 12:14 on Monday, September 21st. Um my upload history has been quite frequent this week because I have a lot that I need to get off of my chest. And it's so much so that it's not all going to fit in one video. Um so here we go. Um I we we're really going through it. We're really struggling. The animosity that is now being felt amongst the three adults in the house, so between myself and my husband and the friend that we're staying with and our daughter, mine and my husband's daughter, the animosity among all four individuals is very, very, very strong. The tension is so, so, so thick that you would probably need a chainsaw and a hammer and chisel to break through it. Um, I don't like to talk negatively about anybody's religious beliefs, religious practices, anything of that nature. But as of late, and the reason that I am sitting in my car in a sweatshirt on a 75 to 80 degree day in Newberry, South Carolina. And also, for the record, no, I do not have the keys to the car, so no, the air conditioner has not been running, and yes, the windows are up. But this morning, okay, I got up, it was about 7:15, 7:30-ish this morning. I go out into the kitchen dining room area of the friend's house that we're staying at, and I make myself a cup of coffee and sit down and drink that coffee. I take my supplements, and I kind of start my day. So then I get up, I take my coffee cup to the sink, and I take it upon myself to put away the clean dishes that were in the drainer because the friend had stated I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning for some odd reason, and I didn't feel like it would have been nice of me to make a lot of noise while you guys were all still sleeping so that I could put away clean dishes. So I said, okay, well, thank you for that. I'll take care of it. I put the clean dishes away and then proceeded to wash the dishes that were sitting on the side of the sink dirty. Um, and then I let her know as a courtesy, I'm going to go sit I'm going to go sit outside. And she looks at me and she goes, well, if you're going to go sit outside, you need to put some clothes on, like actual clothes. Because mom didn't think it was appropriate that you were sitting outside yesterday in your pajamas because she felt like you were showing too much. Excuse me, what? I'm 39 years old and you're going to sit there and say that me sitting outside in pajamas is not appropriate? I told her, I said, your mom has absolutely no right to pass judgment on what somebody else wears. And then she goes into how blah, blah, blah. It's a reflection on me as a Jehovah's Witness, and the people in this neighborhood know that I'm a Jehovah's Witness. And when you dress like you dress, it's a reflection on me. Excuse me? Excuse the fuck out of me. I honestly think this person is jealous. I think she's jealous because she has openly said, because we used to share clothes. When my husband and my daughter and I moved down to South Carolina, the bulk of our clothes got left in that storage unit that we had in Kentucky. So I didn't have a lot of clothes when we moved down here. My husband didn't have a lot of clothes and still doesn't. So my friend, or the friend that we're staying with, said, yeah, you can go through my closet and borrow what you want. And there was that box of clothes that she wanted to donate to Goodwill that she said, while I'm gone visiting my sister out of town, you can go through those boxes of clothes and pick out what you want. So that's what I did. There's actually even been a couple of pieces that she gave me because she doesn't like the way that they lay on her. She's actually told me I look better in her clothes. Well, part of the reason I look better in your clothes, lady, is because I weigh over 100 pounds. This lady now weighs just over 100 pounds, fully clothed with shoes and a leg brace on. Now, the reason she weighs what she weighs is not her fault, okay? Like I said in previous videos, she is on a whole slew of medication. And when you are on that much medication, supplements included, it does speed up your metabolism and you are not able to fully benefit from the caloric intake that you are consuming. Okay. And I don't know why I'm whispering. I'm sitting in my car. Mind you, this woman is 39 years old. She is about 5'4", 5'5", weighs about 104, maybe 105 pounds now. I know when we came down here, she wasn't even that much. The reason she's gained that much is because of the way that she's been eating. She's eating healthier. She's eating home-cooked, full-fledged meals, not processed crap like what she likes to call, quote-unquote, simple. But she's also not as gifted up top as I am. Mind you, I'm not that gifted either, but I am more gifted than she is. And so that is why she says her clothes look better on me. But still, the whole point of this video, so that I can get this off my chest, was literally the fact that she told me if I was going to go sit outside, I needed to cover up. I'm sorry, but your religious doctrine, belief, what have you, you can believe that and you can play into all that, which I've done separate research multiple times to try and figure out, because a lot of what she's saying and a lot of what her mom is saying to me and to my husband both, it just doesn't make any sense. It's not making any sense at all. And the research that I'm showing is contradicting everything that we are being told by the two of them. Okay? I tried. Yeah, I tried. I'll admit, I tried. I kind of gave it a shot. I wanted to learn what it was. But after doing research on some of the things, like I know one of the things that I researched was, because like I said before, she got very uncomfortable when my husband and I chose to, on an extremely small scale, and when I mean extremely small scale, I mean alls we did for this particular occasion, which happened to be our daughter's 15th birthday. She turned 15 on September 1st. Alls we did was we baked her a birthday cake, and we bought her a couple of candles. We bought her a 1 and a 5. We baked her a birthday cake, we bought her frosting, and we bought her a couple of birthday candles, and we lit the candles and we sang happy birthday. Just that's all my husband and I did for her birthday. Sorry, y'all, I'm just pulling up my sleeves because, like I said, I'm in a hoodie in my car with the windows up and no AC, and it's about 75 to 80 degrees, if not hotter. So whilst that whole birthday celebration was happening, little mini birthday acknowledgement, okay, it wasn't really a celebration, but it was an acknowledgement of Kaylee's birthday. The friend went back into her bedroom because she wanted nothing to do with birthdays. And so I researched, I asked Google, I said, why don't Jehovah's Witnesses celebrate their birthdays? And it said more or less that choosing not to celebrate a birthday was founded on the belief that in the Bible it does talk about and I don't remember which 3, but it did mention 3 very specific instances where either just after or right around the time of a specific biblical, what's the word I'm looking for? Being, so person or what have you, birthday, something tragic happened. So they interpret that to mean that if you celebrate or acknowledge a birthday, something bad is going to happen in your life shortly thereafter. That is why they do not celebrate their birthdays or even acknowledge them. To them, the day of their birth is just another day of the year. Now, my husband and I and our daughter, we were all baptized and confirmed Lutheran. Okay? I was baptized and confirmed into St. Mark's Lutheran Church in Lindenhurst, and both my husband and our daughter were baptized into St. Mark's Lutheran Church in Burlington, Wisconsin. Now, as Lutherans, do we go to church every single Sunday? No. Do we go to church every single Christmas? No. Do we go to church every single Easter? No. Do we believe in God? Yes. Do we believe in his son, Jesus Christ? Yes. Will we get any future children that we choose to have baptized? Yes. Are we going to force them to practice a religious belief? No. But it is not right for any one particular person, just because they are staying in someone's household for a time being, it is not right for them to force their religious practices or belief system on the people who are staying in their house, okay? It's happening here, and I just picked at that zit again. Gosh, dang it. It is happening here at the friend's house. It happened when we lived in North Carolina with my biological dad and stepmother. And I'm not going to stand for it. Now, that does not mean, that we do not, we don't do anything that's disrespectful to her in her house. Like, we don't walk around scantily clad, and we don't walk around naked in her house. Now, on the same token, she needs to tighten up and do some and be a little bit more respectful of the fact that she does have guests in her house. Because I'm sorry, it would be more appropriate and more respectful of you to, instead of putting on your bathrobe and going to your room after your shower to get dressed, it would be more respectful of you if after your shower, you just got out of the shower, dried off, and got dressed in the bathroom. Like, take your clothes into the bathroom. Get dressed in the bathroom. Because that's literally what you force the three of us to do. You force the three of us to get dressed in the bathroom after showers. You also, I'm sorry, but at 39 and 40 years old, the adults in the household should not be confined to a bedtime. The 15-year-old, yeah, Sunday through Thursday. But not a bedtime that you enforce. That is a bedtime that is set by her father and I, not you. You want to go to bed at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night? That's fine. That's you. You do what you want to do. But you don't get to sit there and say, well, it's 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. It's time for everybody to go to bed. No. I have not, for myself, had a legitimate, enforceable bedtime since I was maybe 12 years old. At 13, once I hit 13, my mom was like, you're 13. If you don't want to go to bed, you don't got to go to bed, but you do have to keep the TV quiet so other people can sleep. Okay, fine. I get that. That is completely understandable. But literally forcing forcing a married couple, a man and a woman who are both respectfully 39 and 40 years old, to go to bed at quite frankly a ridiculously early hour. Okay, that is why my husband and I lay in bed for so long, just like staring at the ceiling or watching videos on our phones or talking, trying to figure out, what our next steps are going to be and how we're going to go about surviving here for the next 40 days, 40 days, something like that, until we leave. Because that's where we're at. I'm at the point now where I am counting down the days until November 3rd, 2025, when we leave, physically pack all of our shit and pack our daughter and pack all 3 of our cats into a car, and we leave Newberry, South Carolina for good. Now, she's under the impression that, we're still going to come and visit, and we're still going to go and do things as friends. In all honesty, my husband and I have talked about it. With the way that she's been acting over these past few days, which quite honestly is not very witness-like at all. It's not very Christian-like at all. She's very quickly losing 2 friends. 2 friends that she has known for, she's known my husband for damn near 20 years. She's known me for 15. So, between the 2 of us, she's known us both for about about 20, almost 25 years between the 2 of us, give or take. Like I said, I've known her for 15 years because I first met her in 2010 while we were both pregnant with our respective children. She is my husband's ex, and so they've known each other for 20 years. Because they broke up in 2000, I believe, according to my husband, the 2 of them broke up in 2005. And then my husband and I started dating in 2008. So 3 years after the 2 of them broke up is when my husband and I met and started dating. But I think their relationship, including the very short time frame that they were actually engaged, was from 2002 to 2005. So 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. So about 3 years is how long they dated. But like I said, then they broke up because she chose to not come back after a family reunion. And that was the end of that. And then she really was not back in his life until she and I started communicating back in 2010. So from 2000, so for like 5 years after they broke up, he had no communication with her. Nothing. But like I said, so now she's starting to sit there and try to dictate what I can and cannot wear while I'm sitting on the front porch. She's starting to dictate, and this is where I really have begun to lose respect for her. Because the way she went about it was not nice at all. It wasn't respectful. It wasn't nice, and it sure as shoot was not very respectful. She literally came to my husband and I the one night, or not night, the other one morning. My daughter was still sleeping. I believe it was Saturday, actually. This past Saturday, Saturday. It was either this past Friday or this past Saturday. I believe it was Saturday because Kaylee was still sleeping. she came out of her room. I was standing in the kitchen because I had just finished dishes. And Willie, I think, was standing there because he just came out of the bathroom, was going to come make himself something to eat. And she goes, so with October fast approaching and it getting, I don't want any Halloween crap in my house. I don't want any talk of Halloween in my house. I don't want YouTube videos or anything like that in my house. Which there was a way that she could have made that conversation go much more smoothly than it did, much more respectfully than it did. Because what she is neglecting to realize is that October is a very hard month for my husband and I, more so my husband, but it is a very hard month for myself and my husband and Kaylee, because my husband's older brother, who passed away in 2015, sorry. My husband's older brother who passed away in 2015, his birthday is October 1st. Okay, he would have been